Okay, here we are at the business end of this operation. This actually had, I've never seen a pop-up use cables like that. Slide rooms, yeah, but never a pop-up. Typically they only have an eye bolt, and typically they're a 1/4 inch eye bolt. And they never weld the eyes together. So whenever I do a pop-up, I always drill this little bracket out, get the eye bolt, 1/4 inch eye bolts out, drill that out to 5/16, go with a 5/16 eye bolt, and I weld the eyes together so that they don't spread. So typically when we see a pop-up that's broke a cable, a lot of times it don't actually break a cable, it'll actually straighten the eye out. Or we'll find, 2 out of the 4 eyes are about straightened out. So I always go back with 5/16 and weld the eyes together. So we're gonna get a couple of these broken ones out of here and get our bracket drilled, and then we'll be back. Actually, I'll just let y'all watch this too, because somebody will go, well, how'd you do that? Why didn't you let us see that? So here we go. And I'm not making fun of y'all. It's just funny the things that I just don't think about taping. It's like at the hydraulic crimp tool. I just never crossed my mind to actually let you see the tool work. I mean, it's just a little hydraulic jack, and you just pump the jack and it does its thing. It just never entered my mind to get video of that. So yeah, that's constructive criticism. That's what I've been asking for. So I'm not making fun, not complaining. I'm just saying, it's just, I'm learning. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that you guys and gals are wanting to see. And gals, by the way, you're making a comeback. Gals that the gals that are subscribed to my channel are coming. The percentage is coming back up. So, way to go, gals. So yeah, we'll just get those 2 drilled out for right now, because these are still hooked up, and we'll get one of our new cables in there. I'll tell you what, we'll make this just a little bit safer. We'll actually use a tool to try and save our hands. That's a novel idea. Why I didn't think of that earlier. All right. Oh, I'm right in y'all's way. Okay, here we go. There's one. Move my vice grips. I'll tell you, folks, some of these places are really hard to film in. I mean, really hard. Oh. Then you do stuff like that, see? Glad I wasn't holding it with my hand. All right. Look, no blood. It's a miracle. Slide one of our new eyes in there, eye bolts in there. We're not putting our eyes in there, we're putting our eye bolts, right? Just like so. I guess while I'm kind of explaining the function of this pop-up, here's your winch. It's just a cable winch. If you got a boat, you may say, hey, that looks just like my boat winch on the front of my boat trailer. Well, that's because you would be exactly right. It is exactly like a boat winch on the front of a boat trailer. So when you're cranking your pop-up, you're cranking this winch, you're turning this winch, you're pulling this main cable, that's a 3/16 cable, and it in turn pulls all 4 of your secondary cables, which pulls a cable, pulls a slug, pushes a spring, which pushes the legs up, which raises the top. Pretty simple, huh? No, it's not. It's a crazy system, but it works. So, all right, now here is where it gets a bit more tricky, I guess. So, when I cut our cable, we're going to run it through a ferrule. Then we're going to run it through our new eye bolt. And we're going to loop the cable back through and run through the other side of the ferrule. Because those ferrules have 2 holes. One for the cable going in and one for the cable coming out. So what we need to do now is we need to preload this cable as much as we possibly can. And by preloading, I mean, this is basically where it belongs. The other end of this cable is pushing on the slug is pushing on the spring. Hopefully it went up in its socket where it belongs. So this cable is exactly where it needs to be. We've got all of our adjustment on our eye bolts to adjust it, make the cable shorter. So what we want to do is Cameron is going to pull this tail, this cut tail, as hard as he possibly can. Now I'm going to slide this ferrule up as far as I possibly can. I am going to mark it with a Sharpie. I'm going to very gently hold it with a pair of pliers until we can get this thing crimped or swaged, however you want to say it. So here's my Sharpie. I'm ready to roll. Cameron, you ready?
Yeah.
Do your thing. All right, now I'm just going to slide this up as far as I possibly can, and I'm going to very gently all right, let me mark this real quick. Just make sure nothing slips. I'll tell you what, Cameron.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, we'll do this. Okay. All right, so we got her marked. There's our marks. Oh, let me make sure we see both marks. Yes, we do. So we should be okay there. So now, I really don't know. I don't know if there's going to be enough room for you guys to be in here or not. We're going to try, because y'all want to see what's going on. So here we have our new tool. Gonna just snug it up on that ferrule. Try and put a little bit of pressure on that ferrule. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna let it crimp right there, so I know nothing's moved, and I'm just gonna crimp that thing right there. So I'm just pumping away here. All right, I'm gonna have to do this a different way. Y'all just might not be able to see what's going on. Okay, there we go. Got that. Now, need to do that a couple more times. I tell you, this hydraulic crimper is way easier than the old manual one. I think of it, I'll pop a link to one of my other pop-up videos up here in one of these corners. You'll see the old, you can see the old manual crimper in action. I mean, that thing is a beast. It's like a big old, it looks like a big old bolt cutter. And I mean, it takes a tremendous amount of effort to crimp these things, or swage them, however you want to say it. So this thing here is a huge step up. And there we go. There is our finished swage. We didn't quite get to the end, so I'm actually going to do one more. We're going to get it right all the way to the very end. One of the comments on the Amazon site when I was looking at these crimping tools, I don't remember whether it was this one, because there's a bunch of these things and they're all basically the same. One of the complaints was, it's great, but it takes 3 hands to work it. And I kind of have to agree with that. It does take quite a bit of, yeah, I mean, really, 3 hands is better than 2 when you're working with one of these things. So we're just gonna try and get our eye bolt back in there and get a nut started, because it is pretty snug. But that's what we wanted. There we are. Success. At least something that looks like success. So there you have. There's the finished product of cable numero uno of 4. So I'm gonna cut this thing off unless something really exciting happens, and we're gonna build 3 more cables, and then we'll be back for the final adjustments. All the new cables are run. Her new eye bolts, her new 5/16 eye bolts, and we are getting ready to, I'll tell you what. What are we getting ready to do, Cameron?
Getting ready to set her on the cables.
All right, what's that mean?
Go big or go home.
Yeah, it's the moment of truth.
Yep.
Did we do a good job or did we not? We're fixing to find out, ain't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we got all those cables marked so that we'll know which one we're adjusting, because we're going to hang it on, set it on the cables, and we're going to start adjusting, and then we're going to start putting this stuff back together. Because we have a bunch of stuff taken apart. Even had to take water heater out to because we lost one of the cables back inside the wall. This camper's funny. The cables actually run through the walls. Typically these above floor cable systems, and I forget which system it's called. Maybe I'll look it up and I'll put some text in here. But yeah, this one runs through the wall. I had to cut a couple access points. I had to cut one access port right there to get to the cables, and then we had to pull the water heater out because we lost a cable between right here and right there. So we had to pull the water heater out to access that. Does anybody see anything wrong here? Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think might be wrong here with this picture. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna let this thing hang on the cables. So you never know, this could get exciting. Nah, Cameron's done a good job. He hasn't had much help, but I think we're gonna be okay. All right, moment of truth. Hammer in my hand. We're gonna start knocking these supports out and see what happens. Let's just go this way here. Well, that one didn't fall down, so we're gonna get the other 3 out. Well, none of them fall down, go boom. That's always a plus. Probably just gonna crank this thing down a little bit, foot or so, bring it back up to about where it needs to be, and then start adjusting cables. And I'll take you inside when we start adjusting cables. So y'all just hang on. All right, go ahead and let it down a foot or so. That's good enough. Go back up. We'll go to just about where we need to be. Easy, easy, a little bit. Oh, just a smidge, 1 click. All right, that's good enough. All right, we let it down about a foot. We raised it back up about where we're gonna be, and Cameron's gonna start measuring. She's gonna measure each corner. What you got there, Cameron?
45 3/4.
45 3/4. Come to this corner, try and measure. Same place. Whoa, your tape measure is all crooked. Yeah.
45.
45. We're within 3/4 of an inch. That's usually close enough on a pop-up. But we'll try our best to get a little bit closer.
It's about 44 7/8.
44 7/8. Okay, we need a little bit of adjustment on that corner.
That's 45 7/8.
45 7/8. So that's the highest corner.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, we'll just have to make the rest of them match that one because, yeah, this is our tallest corner, so we will just make the rest of them match that, and we're gonna call this thing good. I'll take you inside and show you the adjustment process, a little bit of it. Not gonna show you all of it, because it'll take a little bit. It's making an adjustment, then having the camera measure it and see if we made a difference. Sometimes you gotta let the pop-up down a little bit, raise it back up to just equalize everything. So yeah, we'll go inside and I'll show you the adjustments, and then we'll show you the finished product. All right, we're going to start with the right front. It is about 3/4 of an inch low. So all we do is I have these marks so we know which one's right front, and take my ratchet wrench here. I got a pair of vice grips on it to keep that eye bolt from turning, and we just start shortening that cable. And I'm not sure 3/4 of an inch here translates to 3/4 of an inch up front. So we're gonna let Cameron measure that real quick, see if we've moved it at all. Like I say, sometimes you gotta, once you make an adjustment or two, you gotta let the camper down a little bit and then raise it back up. Let all these cables equalize. So how much more do we need over?
1/2 inch.
Let me go just a little bit more then we'll. All right, now I'm gonna go with the other front one. All right, we're gonna let the thing down a little bit and then raise it back up. That's how tight those cables are. Cameron's a musician. He might know what key that is. Got it, Cameron?
G flat.
G flat, he says. Okay, I'll have to take his word for it because I have no musical parts anywhere in my body. So let her down just a little bit, Cameron. Here you can watch the cables work. This will get longer, which lets the pop-up down. Gravity is the only thing that brings the pop-up down. The cables push the springs up, and the springs raise the pop-up. Okay, Cameron, go on back up, bud. You know what? Hang on just a second. I want to make a minor adjustment on this right rear one, because the nut's not quite through the plate. Okay. Alrighty, going up. Just watch your limit cable there. Want to get her snug. All right, now Cameron's cranking it up, and I know that's probably pretty harsh on you guys. But all right. Cameron's gonna go around and measure all four corners again. Make sure everything's staying consistent. 45 and 3/4, that stayed the same. That was right rear. Right front.
45 and a quarter.
45 and a quarter, we're really close there. Let's go on to the left front.
45 and a quarter.
45 and a quarter, the front is even. Left rear.
Got 45 and 7/8.
45 and 7/8, so.
Well, yeah, I call that 3/4.
3/4.
Yeah, 45.
So the back are the same, and the fronts are probably close enough. Let's go out and look. So, pop up soft-sided. So as long as, the fabric is not just totally loose, or see, those feel the same to me. I mean, it's within a 1/2 inch. We're talking canvas here, or vinyl. So it does not have to be exact. You'd probably make yourself crazy trying to make it exact. We may go up just a smidge more on these front ones, but we're probably going to call this real close to being perfect enough. Cause in the RV world, when you get perfect enough, that's good enough. So we'll make one more minor adjustment, and then I got one more thing to show you, and then we're going to wrap this one up. Are you ready to wrap this thing up, Cameron?
Yep. I'm past ready, actually.
We have got a ton of stuff to put back together in this thing. We had to take a cabinet completely apart and pull the water heater out. Well, just pull it part way out. We didn't have to take it all the way out. Has anybody noticed what was wrong with that water heater yet? Leave a comment, because I don't know, maybe not everybody's seen it, but leave a comment. So, why am I still talking? Let's go get some work done. I did decide I'm gonna adjust the fronts just a little bit more. Not a whole lot. They're real close, so. All right. Tuned to perfection. Don't y'all think? It's perfect music. That's purty music right there. I don't care who you are. All right, now last thing I wanted to show you really before we check all our adjustments one more time is just these jam nuts. Keeps these cables from unadjusting themselves. Just snug all them jam nuts up, and this thing's probably going to be good as far as the cables go. So we got probably 2 or 3 hours of putting stuff back together to do. Cabinets, sink. We had to take the sink out. Had to pull the water heater out. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit. Well, there you have it. There is recabling your 1999 model Jayco Pop-Up. It's a fine, fine unit. It does have a one-piece fiberglass roof, which means the roof's not all rotted out, because typically they're a 3-piece roof. And it's got the top, and then the sides, and they're always rotted out. The legs, the support legs, there's nothing usually to attach them to up there in the top and stuff. So this one is it's a different bird. So hey, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. Me and Cameron, we're going to go down the road and fix another one. And y'all have a fantastic day. Do you have anything you want to say, Cameron?
Nope, you said it all.
I said it all?
Yep.
Did I use all my words?
I think so.
I might have borrowed some of yours. All right, y'all have a good day.